This is Britain, known for things like tea, castles, and the royal family. However, one thing that it is also notable and arguably infamous for is unarmed police. This is because when people think of the UK, they tend to think of England and not the other constituent countries. However, what many people don't know is that there is one part of the UK where all police officers are issued firearms, the part that usually gets the least attention, Northern Ireland. But why do Northern Irish cops have firearms when the rest of Britain's police force, well, doesn't? After all, even Irish cops are usually unarmed. If you were to ask Gemini why cops in Northern Ireland have firearms, it would likely tell you about something called the Troubles, a period of time that was often violent, especially for police officers, from the 1960s until 1998, when the Good Friday Agreement was passed. This law stated that Northern Ireland is a part of Britain, but could join Ireland should they vote to do so. But as it stands, Northern Ireland is part of the UK, and surprising to many, should remain part of the UK if they want to continue having their cops armed. But this then raises the question, should cops in all of Britain have firearms, and would it really decrease trust for them to have guns? Let's start off with the few officers in Britain that do have firearms. In the UK, armed police response times are much longer than unarmed police. This is because, to put it simply, there are so few armed police officers in the country that it takes significantly longer to get an armed officer when needed, especially in rural areas. But does this make the UK safer? The answer is, of course not, and the data shows it. In both England and Wales, crime has risen 10% in the past year alone, according to the BBC, and has risen much higher over the past 10 years. Things like car theft and, shocker, gun crime have all risen in England. Compare that with Northern Ireland, where crime for the past 10 years has gone down. Between 2014 and 2015, there were 56 crimes per 1,000 people. Compare that to the time between 2023 and 2024, which saw around 54 crimes per 1,000 people. But what about police trust? Well, unarmed police fails in that regard too. In England, only 40% of people trust the police, according to the University of Glasgow in 2024. A YouGov poll by the BBC showed that 42% of people in London somewhat or strongly distrust the police.